guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Julie. Today I thought I would ask you guys a question. So me and my boyfriend, we went to dinner last night and we had a little tiny bit of a disagreement because he annoys me sometimes and he doesn't do it on purpose, but we just have such different personality types that he does get on my nerves. And so we started asking each other, like on the car ride to the place, I was just like, what is a healthy amount of time to be annoyed with your partner? Is it 50%, 40%, 30%? Like what would be considered a healthy amount of being annoyed and what would be considered unhealthy? And he and I both, at different times individually came up with the answer that if you're 50% of the time annoyed with your partner, that's probably unhealthy. I don't know, like it just seems like it doesn't really make sense. And so I thought that would be an interesting topic and question to ask people is, what do you think is a healthy amount of your time to be annoyed at your partner? I would say for us, it's probably like 30% of the time he annoys me, which I think is probably healthy. But it was just such a weird thing. And then we started talking about people we know and their relationships and questioning what, do you think that couple, they're annoyed 50%, whatever. And so I just thought it was really interesting and that I would share it. And leave a comment down below if what percentage of time you think is a healthy percentage to be annoyed with your partner. And tell me why you think X amount or X percentage is healthy and X percentage isn't healthy. I thought that would be really cool. Another thing I thought I would tell you guys. So I'm on my lunch break right now. So I went and got tacos and I thought I would film a quick video real quick. I started a podcast beginning of February, and I have 10 episodes or so in as of yesterday, and I've been putting them on Anchor FM, which is the platform that distributes them to Spotify, Google Podcast, iTunes, all these places, right? Or Apple Podcasts, whatever it's called. And I started putting them on my YouTube channel because I sat there and thought, it's so much easier to go to one platform and find everybody's information versus have to go to multiple platforms every day. So I'm still going to be putting them on multiple platforms, but I'm going to try to be consolidating everything that I do and putting it on YouTube, just so it's easier for me, but it's also so it's easier for you guys. So I was just curious if that's something that you guys like, if it's something that you get annoyed that I post so much, because I'm going to be posting my regular YouTube videos, but I'm also going to be filling in gaps with my podcast. So I'm going to be downloading my episodes and then putting them in a video format for YouTube. And then I'm starting to work on blog posts for my my Wix website, which I think is going to be really it's going to be really fun to be able to show, talk about different things on different platforms. And then, quick announcement, I thought it's not really an announcement, it's a sneak peek. So, I was looking at my YouTube analytics, which I don't recommend doing this very often unless you are making your YouTube channel. It just depends on your perspective on what you're doing with your YouTube channel, on whether or not you should look at them, how often you should look at them, all that kind of stuff. But I looked at my YouTube analytics because it was just something fun to do. And one of the videos that I've done so far that had the most interest, I guess would be the right way of putting it, was actually my holiday coworkers Christmas gift idea video. And it really got me interested in, I think I'm going to do something this year. Well, not this year, but this month. I think I'm going to do 2 different videos, maybe 3, that, have to do with this time of year. So it's the beginning of March, and, I feel like there's 3 things that happen in March depending on who you are. So if you're a kid or you're a teacher or you work at a school system, spring break is like 2 weeks away. So you're super excited for spring break, which is like, yay, you get like a whole week off of school. It's really cool. And I get a whole week off of work, which is where I'm really excited. If you are a Christian or you like candy, Easter's like a month or so away. Like, that's really exciting too. And then another thing, and this is probably more for females and adults, it's wedding season. Like, everybody's starting to get ready for spring and summer weddings, fall weddings. And so I thought I would do some really fun videos where I do like the Dollar Tree and Target and Hobby Lobby for Easter decor, because I think you guys really liked all the different stores I went to and the options you have and the price ranges. And then I think I might do like a small, I don't know if I'm going to do individual video or if I want to do 2 or 3 videos about weddings. Okay, I'm not engaged. I'm not getting married. My younger sister's getting married, but she's already planned her entire wedding, so it's not like I can show you the stuff that she's doing as she's doing it. But I thought it'd be really fun to just show you the different options that you have available to do a wedding on a super unbelievably small budget. We're talking like a few $100s budget. I thought that would be really, really cool, because it's always something that even though I'm not married and I'm not engaged, it's something that I'm definitely interested in, because it's just the challenge of making something that's beautiful yet inexpensive. And we're not just talking DIY projects here. We're talking where you can go to a store and you can buy stuff and it's ready to set out for your wedding, or you just assemble it and you're done. Like, I think that would be a really fun challenge. So I think I'm going to do a Dollar Tree, Target, Hobby Lobby. That way you have different price ranges for wedding stuff. But I think I also might get creative and see when I start going. So I'm going to start putting up videos where I'm doing antiquing and thrifting, just because it's something I enjoy doing and I thought it'd be fun to vlog. And I maybe like keep my eye out for different things that you can find at thrift stores like Goodwills and the DIV and all those types of places, and like redo them a little bit for wedding options. That might be a separate video, but I thought that would be really, really fun, because it's spring unofficially, at least where I live. Like, the weather kind of goes like it's gonna be a really good week for weather. People are starting to plant plants and get their gardens ready, and their grass is starting to turn, but like, you don't know for sure if winter's over, so you're like being teased with good weather. So I thought it'd be really fun to just kind of like get in the spring spirit, even if spring's only 2 weeks where I live, like it was last year. And then I'm going to be doing a video hopefully pretty soon, because there's a coworker who wants to show me how to DIY a wreath for your front door. And I don't know exactly if it's going to be like a ribbon wreath or how it's going to entail. I'm going to have her show me how to do it, and then I'm going to do a DIY video showing you guys how to do it, because I think it'd be really fun to have an Easter one, maybe 4th of July. I already have a fall and Christmas one, but I think those are probably the other 2 I would do. Maybe St. Patrick's Day, probably not. It would just depend. But yeah, I thought that'd be a really fun video to show you guys as well. And really think on that question. I know that this is turning into a long update video, but think about that question about the 50%, or not the 50%, about what percentage of being annoyed at your partner is healthy. Also, if you guys want to listen to my podcast, I'd love to hear your guys' comments about the things I'm talking about. I'd love for topic suggestions. I'm thinking about doing a couple collaborations with some friends of mine on podcast episodes, because there's a lot of really interesting stuff, topics and situations and relationships that I would like to discuss with them. And I don't know if that's something that you guys would want to hear about or not, but I definitely want to document it, because I think it'd be a lot of fun. And I've also been doing a lot, if you've been listening to my podcast, you probably already know this, but I've been doing a lot of thinking about how I want my YouTube channel to grow, what I want out of my YouTube channel, what I want to share, how I feel about the business side of YouTube, like all this stuff. And it's all intermixed with social media and all of it. And it's really interesting because there's a lot of YouTubers that still to this day inspire me. They inspire me to have my own channel. They inspire me to want to do stuff on the side, even if it's just for fun and stuff. If anything comes of it, that's really cool, but it doesn't have to. That are experiencing the same kind of, they're having problems walking the same line that I am, between making content that they know will get them the analytics that they want, and making content that they're passionate about by sharing personal sides of their personality in their life. And I talk about this in a podcast, but I thought it's really interesting how I'm so new into YouTube, into wanting to, just do stuff and make things just because it's something I enjoy doing. And these are seasoned YouTubers who have been on YouTube for years. I mean, some of them for a long, long time, not just a year or two. And they're having the same problems I am. And it's just fascinating to me because it took them so much longer to get to the point where they're wanting to be more selective on what they're showing. Like, they still want to show the main stuff they've been doing, but they want to just add in other things they want to talk about. And a lot of them are really afraid of losing their audience because not everybody wants to listen to them have a vlog where they just talk to the camera about stuff that's going on in their personal life. There's some people who only want educational content. There's some people who only want family style vlogs. There's some people who don't want to talk about, controversial topics, and there's some people that only want that. I mean, so it's so hard for them to find that niche that they really want, because you niche down to, basically, I don't agree with this, but a lot of gurus say niches is where the riches are. So basically, if you niche down, you have a higher percentage of chances of making more money and having a bigger audience and getting the views and doing all the analytical side of YouTube, which is where you make money. However, one thing I've noticed by just, roughly, just doing a quick research, not even in depth, a lot of the people that are doing the super niche down niches on their channels, they don't reach what I would call burnout exactly, but they get to a point where people don't know who they are. There's no personal relationship with their audience, and so they don't feel fulfilled. They don't have, okay, for instance, I love her channel. She's awesome. If you ever just want to go look her up. But she's Catherine from The Content Bug. And there was one thing she said, it was either on Instagram or it was in one of her vlogs, I can't remember, that it took, I think, 2 years or something like that. She'd been making YouTube videos for at least 2 years, maybe closer to 3. And within that time, her audience, the majority of her audience, didn't even know what her name was, what her real first name was. They just always called her The Content Bug. And it really upset her. And me as an outside perspective is sitting there thinking, you shouldn't have to have your name in the title of your YouTube channel for people to know what your name is. I like the name of my YouTube channel. It's something that works for me, but you don't have to do that for people to know that my name's Julie. And it really upset her because she didn't feel like she had a personal connection to her audience. And because all of her content is about educational stuff on how to start a YouTube channel, how to grow on YouTube, the analytics, all the business side of YouTube, to where she's just a person giving you information. She's not a person, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm not explaining that very well, but it's like there's a divide between the content she's giving and her giving you the content. There is no connection to her as a person, which was something that I've been really aware of, especially, I've only been on YouTube for a few months, but it's something that I definitely want to do the legwork now and make sure that people know who I am. They know I'm opinionated. They know that I have a very complicated life, especially relationships with people. I talk about a lot of different types of topics that are interesting to me, and I do different types of content, not just DIYs, not just advice, not just inexpensive living. Those are the 3 main things I want to focus on, but I also want to do vlogs, and I want to do podcast episodes, and I want to talk about things and it be just like my normal life, things I would talk about with my friends, with my significant other, with my family members, and just have this be an extension of my life to where I feel like it's a true representation of who I am. Because I feel like with some YouTube channels, you only see a little tiny slice of the pie that is them, which is them completely when they're angry and when they're pissed off about something, and when they're super happy, and when they're sad, and when they're going through grief, and all of it. Like, you need to be transparent on any sort of platform for people to build a connection with you. I mean, A, they like your personality, but B, they feel like they know you. And so that's one thing that, like, I may not get a lot of views and I may not get a lot of subscribers, and a lot of my subscribers might be family right now, or in the future may only be family. But all I can sit there and think is, I am happy with the audience that I have because they know who I am and they're choosing to follow me. They want to get to know me on a deeper level. And that's something that I'm trying to incorporate with all the different platforms that I am putting content on, whether it's on my podcast, on my blog, on my YouTube channel, on Instagram, on Facebook. Like, I'm trying to do a giant, all-inclusive content to where it is a true representation of who I am. The good, the bad, the amazing, and the ugly. Like, all of it. That's the only way you can get people to actually genuinely care about you. I think about, the YouTube channel, Fun Free or Cheap, whatever, the Jordan Page YouTube channel. The reason people like her is because A, she's got an awesome personality. She's really funny. She's really quirky. She's got mom content. She's got content on how to save money. I mean, but she shares so much of her life that you feel like you know her. I think that's why a lot of the bigger channels are big, because you have a personal relationship. I mean, I keep coming back to Good Mythical Morning, but they're a great example. It's not only entertaining, where you learn things sometimes, but also you have a sense of knowing these guys. Like, they're like like you feel like you're friends with them because they share you, like in their episodes. Like, granted, they have I think they hit 1,700 episodes this week on just that channel. But they share little snips here and there about their wives and their family and their kids and stuff when they were younger. I mean, to where you feel like you kind of know them. And so it's not just the content that they're giving you, but it's also the personal connection that they're giving you. And I think that's one thing that I definitely want to apply to myself with my channel, is giving you guys a personal connection to me, but you also like the content that I'm giving. Not all of it, but maybe you just like the DIY stuff. Maybe you just like all the other, the podcast parts. Maybe you just like the vlogs. Maybe you just like the inexpensive living. I know I definitely want to get back into the routine of sewing again. And I'd love to show you guys sewing projects and, simple sewing basics and things that I'm passionate about, because otherwise I just feel like it's so easy for you to put on a facade because you're on a social platform. And how many of those people, when they're found out that it's a lie, are trashed? People are nasty because you weren't real. And it's just not worth being fake. I'm too old at this point to care what other people think about me, and to let that affect every word that comes out of my mouth and every picture that I post and everything. It's just, life is too short. So that was a huge update / ask a question / rant, but hopefully this is some of the stuff that you guys can think about as well, especially if you are thinking about starting a YouTube channel or you've already started one. Find the healthy balance between showing content that you put a lot of effort and work into, and also showing who you are. Because if you don't have those hand in hand, your channel's never going to grow in the way that you actually want it to. You're not going to feel fulfilled on your channel to where you could only have 50 subscribers and be happy. So yeah, think about some of the questions I posed today. Think about some of the stuff I talked about. I would love it if you would comment and just let me know your thoughts on some of the topics that I talked about, because I know I talk about a lot of things and I think about a lot of things, but I would love to build some sort of engagement with my audience to where there's a back and forth, and hopefully some of the things I talk about make you think about stuff to where you can figure stuff out as well in your own personal life. And I'm gonna go inside. My lunch is starting to, it's just been sitting for a bit. I want to eat my tacos before they get bad. But yeah, I would love it if you guys would subscribe. Please comment down below. If you can't comment on this video, I would love it if you would reach out on Facebook or Instagram. And if you get a moment and you want to listen to my podcast, that would be awesome. And I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.